Hey guys, how's it going? Jacob here. In today's episode, I'm going to explain why you should take the first of two engineering classes offered for third year engineering by Project Lead the Way Computer Integrated Manufacturing. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Now, this is just my opinion. I'm sure that some people are bound to disagree with me, but I believe that computer integrated manufacturing, or SIM as I'm just going to call it for short, is really sort of like an extension of POE, or Principles of Engineering, which if you're taking SIM, then you better have taken POE already because you're going to be lost. Because when I took SIM, it had a lot of a continuation of more VEX and more programming in Robot C, but you definitely got to go into a lot greater detail because there was a lot more stuff you had to do. In SIM, you're going to go into a lot of the history and types of manufacturing. You're going to learn about some of the very influential people who helped modernize manufacturing. Some of them are even going to be people from BC. That's how far back this stuff goes. And now we're talking about thousands of years later, so now it's amazing to see how much things have changed over so much time, but also to look back at a long time ago and see how innovative some of these creations could actually be. When it comes to the types of manufacturing, you're going to learn about different types of practices, such as lean manufacturing. That's just the first one that comes to mind. I'll let your teacher tell you about the other ones in greater detail. But then there's also the different things you can do, like molding, casting, printing. Again, I'll let the teachers go into greater detail because I'm not being paid for this. This is just a project. In SIM, you're also going to go into greater detail about the elements of power. You're going to learn greater calculations involving voltage and current, and you're going to learn more about power and energy, and you're also going to learn about certain conversions, such as to horsepower, because, with vehicles, a major thing that you're going to manufacture, they're going to be read with horsepower, so it's good to know your conversions for the basic things you're going to know, like voltage and current. SIM definitely does involve a lot of research and presentations, but you're also definitely going to get hands-on. You're going to learn about how to operate a CNC, or computer numerical control, and use G&M codes, which is what you're going to need to be able to operate a CNC. One project that we had to do was we had a block, and we had to use a CNC and write the code for it to be able to have the machine engrave our initials on it. One with just straight, jagged lines, and then the other one was with curves, because that involves extra lines. Well, you'll find out what I mean by that later, so don't roast me. And not trying to hold a grudge, but this year's students got to make yo-yos, and I may be technically an adult at this point, but I know I would have liked to have played with a yo-yo, so just saying, again, not holding a grudge. I'm not one to hold grudges, and you can definitely tell because of if you saw my POE video, so you know I'm telling the truth. But it's fine, I'm not one to hold a grudge. And rather than just making certain robots out of X, you're also going to get to use actual robots, specifically more like robotic arms, because of certain projects that you're going to get to do. First of all, you're going to test stuff in an application called Robocell, where you're going to do several different tests, and you have to program them, where it's going to involve teaching positions, recording positions. You're going to learn how to have a home position because it's good to start off in a safe way. You're going to learn about Cartesian coordinates because there's a limit to how much it can move. It can move in an X plane, a Y plane, and a Z plane. And it's going to involve being able to pick up objects and place them in new locations, following different paths, and you need to make sure that you're doing it safely, because this might just be a program, but when you get to the real thing, it's not going to be quite so simple, because you never know what's going to happen. You might write something wrong, So it's good to make sure that you're taking your time, you have plenty of positions, and it's going to move smoothly, and you're going to do it safely. The keyword of today's episode is safety. While you're learning about manufacturing, one thing you're going to learn about is AGVs, or Automated Guided Vehicle. They're coming useful for manufacturing when it comes to moving parts from one location to another, because as it says, it's automated, so it follows a certain path, and it involves a minimum amount of human input because it's not something that a human has to drive around. And at some point, a project that you may get to do, I know I get to do it, I feel lucky that I got to do it, is make a miniature AGV out of Vex materials, where it's going to utilize a line follower to be able to follow a certain path because it is guided. That's the second word of today, guided. Definitely not as important as safety. Safety's important. Finally, one of the big projects that you're going to do is a manufacturing factory project, where you're going to have to come up with a product. This part here is very insignificant, but you're going to put it through a manufacturing process. I know that when I did it, it was packaging a box of cereal, and we had to send it through an assembly line. It involved all sorts of things that you learned. It involved Vex and programming, and it also involved fluid power because we got to use hydraulics, and we had to integrate it with one of the handshaking robots because, if, like I said, it has to involve so much of what you learned throughout the class. So I know that based on how my class was structured, we had students from several different schools, so we just formed 3 big groups, and then we divided up and conquered, where some of them worked on the actual assembly line part with Vex, and the others worked on the programming of the handshaking robot, and we eventually all came together and made the process work in one big way. And going along with the word of the day, if you already forgot, the word of the day is safety. We had to make sure that we had an e-stop in place in case something went wrong. That way we can make sure we could stop it immediately. That way we could prevent someone from being hurt. And also, if the process is just clearly going wrong, it's good to just stop it instead of watching the travesty. I know I didn't like watching some travesties over and over, so I hit that e-stop button. My group, I'm sure, hit that e-stop button. But hey, we got it done in the end because, you know, we learned a lot in Sim, and it was a lot of fun. So you'll enjoy it too. Okay, that's all I really have to say for this video. I noticed for my Principles of Engineering video, I made that really longer than I expected. I think I started to ramble. I recorded it late at night / early in the morning, and I just kind of lost track of time. So I'm going to try to be a bit more short and concise, but also informative with this one. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I kind of noticed that I'm rambling right now, but hey, this is an outro, so it's fine. It's just me trying to be funny and failing at being funny, unless you think I'm funny. Okay, so make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Make sure to share the video if you want others to see it, because I know I want others to see it. I want people to take Sim, I want people to take IED, I want people to take POE, and other classes I'm going to discuss. So please, 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 if you can, share the video with people you think you'll enjoy it, or people that you know will also share the video, because I want the whole world to see this stuff. Well, let's start with people that I know and go from there. Alright, thanks for checking out the video. Bye.